Stream. Hello, everyone. Stream is hard. Stream is difficult. What if stream was easy, though? Has anybody ever imagined that? I think, personally, I think things should be easy. I think that would be much easier on me if things were simple. Uh... Well, welcome, everyone. So, yeah, no cats. No cats today. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. I have no power to control this. God, I get, I'm in here today because I'm testing out a new stream setup. It's one of those things where I'm trying to work out the kinks ahead of time. And the thing about working out the kinks is that then one has to deal with kinks. And boy, are there ever kinks. Because it turns out that in an attempt to get stuff off the table, which was largely successful, I have now ended up with... It's really hard to actually see the chat. Because I hit well, here, I'll just show you. One thing I'm very pleased with is I've got the PTZ controller here on my Stream Deck now, so that's pretty cool. But the way I have there's a bit of a microphone there. Sorry. Wow, there's really a microphone there. Hello, hi. That's this one. Oh, okay, I can move that one safely. Cool. There you go. No, I got it. Anyway, so yeah, if we just get in here, yeah, there we go. So that, whoa, I'm still figuring things out with this controller. Well, the other thing that's fun that I'm discovering right now is that I'm using global hotkeys in order to make this Stream Deck work, and I'm learning that it's also punching letters into Stream Chat because I have that focused, and I didn't expect that to happen. So that's a problem. We're gonna have to deal with that, and it's a good thing I caught that now because that's gonna end up being a real issue, I think. So, geez, man, what am I gonna do about that? There's the message. Yeah. Oh yeah, F13, etc. Yeah, maybe I can do that. That might work. Yeah, maybe that's the solution. Thank you. Anyway, so last time that I did this, my approach to capturing video from the PC I was working on was to just point the camera at it, and I can do that. But as you can see, I also now have a VGA capture going on, which is gonna be unreliable. I'm fairly certain. So, for instance, I'm gonna go ahead and just proceed with startup here. What's gonna happen is you're gonna lose signal here. Okay, you might get it back for a moment, but now nothing. And if we go over here, you find out that that's because OS2 Warp is booping, and for some reason, the OSSC that I'm using is apparently unable to sync to that input. Like, it says it's getting it, but the red light is on, and it's not outputting anything that the Elgato could pick up. So, yeah, I don't know what's up. But anyway, that's why, gosh, is OS2 ever a quirky little guy? Because before I started the, pardon me, yeah, electrokinesis, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's what the OSSC is. It's a scaler. And it's just having trouble with whatever mode this is, which is weird because this should just be VGA. So I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, so now that's up. Wow, why are we out of focus? Are we going to get signal back or... No, so this is the weird thing. I know it can capture this mode, but it's just not. And if I hit the button again... then it syncs. And there we go. So yeah, Not exactly sure what's going on here. Da, 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 da. Man. Yeah, you know, I'm going to end up... in the long term, I'm going to have to just get myself one of those direct RGB VGA capture cards. And I'm just going to have to get something that's designed for dealing with this sort of input. The problem is, the universal problem with this crap, it's not that you can't get it working. I promise you, I could sit here for 15 minutes, I could get the OSSC to capture the OS2 boot screen. And that's all it would do. That's the only thing it would do. So then it would switch modes, and I'd lose the goddamn capture again. And then I'd be dicking around, and like the screen would change modes for a moment. It would lose capture. I wouldn't notice. And now I'm sitting here talking and talking and talking, working on something, not looking at chat, because I don't have time to constantly look over at chat. And I've got no feed, and everyone's yelling at me, no feed, as if typing it a lot is going to somehow make me hear it, even though I'm not looking at chat. And there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing. None of these goddamn things will set off an alarm when they're not getting a feed, which is really what I want. Okay, I'm sorry, Okium, I don't have an answer for that or any time to answer that. If I didn't catch it the first time, please don't spam my chat, okay? It's not what I'm doing right now. Anyway, so this is just the universal hell of trying to do any of this sort of stuff. Because PCs in particular output a dozen different resolutions in the process of booting, right? You start out at, 720 by some ungodly number at 70 hertz during text mode. And then the screen goes boom, 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 and like, what the hell's happening in there? Who knows? And now we're back at 70 hertz text mode, or 75, or whatever the hell it is. And then the boot splash for your OS starts, and okay, is that a VESA mode? Is that a VGA mode? And then boom, 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 and then you load into the operating system, and now it's a new mode. And so you really just, you can't set it and forget it. You need to have a device that's capable of bouncing between all these modes. None of these things are designed for it. None of these things are designed for it. The OSSC isn't made for it. All the capture cards on the market, they expect you to be front-loading 15 minutes of dicking around, and then once that's all done, you're expected to stay in that mode indefinitely, because you're only really supposed to be playing a game or doing a freaking presentation or whatever. So nothing is really designed for this. And I know that, yeah, like the DataPath Vision RGB, which I think you still have to shell out several $100s to get. I promise you what's going to happen is this. I'm going to plug it in. It's going to have no signal. And I'm going to dick with it for 15 minutes. And now I have a signal, and it's scooted 16 pixels off the left edge of the screen. I spend 4 hours fixing this. I never really get it working unless I like pitch it into a different color mode or something for some goddamn reason. I finally get it working. Reboot the computer. Boom, 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 boom. It's back off the side again. Or no signal. It's what always happens. It's just such a pain in the ass. You know what works though? Hey everyone, can you see the screen? Does anyone have any trouble seeing the screen? I doubt it. And I promise you, there's no possible way that I'm going to be unaware that you're not seeing what I'm seeing. So, yeah, I think this is cute. I don't know if I'm actually gonna persist with it. What I am gonna do is, now that I'm realizing sort of how I'm sitting here, I think I am gonna move this over here, and I think it might tend to get less covered up. Now, an odd thing is, I swear I cropped this earlier, but it's back to being uncropped, and I'm not sure when or how that happened. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so camera on the damn screen, that seems to work. That's probably mostly what I'm going to go with. Kind of a color temperature situation going on there. That's odd. Oh, you know what? That's only actually showing up on my my secondary TV here. So, but yeah, like I said, the whole point of this stream is just to just to work out some kinks, because I'm planning on doing a stream. As you can see, we just got the thing on the screen there. I'm planning on doing a stream on my main channel to try and drive some fundraising and maybe some new Patreon subscriptions, because I'm in about $25,000 of debt because my sewer blew up again, and I took out a loan to cover most of the plumbing bill, and it didn't actually cover all of it. I don't know if I have enough money to pay for the project yet, because I got a quote from the plumbing company for $27,000. I took out a loan for $25,000, but the plumbing company outright told me they don't know what the final cost will be because they have to cut up my sidewalk and then pour a new sidewalk, and they have to talk to the city and find out what the city wants them to do as far as thickness and And so I expect it to be somewhere closer to $30,000 to $32,000 by the time I'm done. I'm thinking it's going to be like $5,000 to $6,000. 25,000, 5 digits. So anyway, the point is, I'm looking at paying an extra $500 a month for the next 6 years, unless I can recoup some of these costs, and it would help either if more people were subscribed to my Patreon, then that would be less of an imposition. But mostly, I just would really rather not be under 5 digits of debt for the next 6 years. So anyway, I'm going to run a fundraiser. Probably Sunday is what I'm going to do. It should be a good time for all. I'm going to have a bunch of computers here that I have not yet had on my channel. Lieutenant Mooch, none of it is ever going to be the responsibility of the city. The city maintains absolutely nothing other than the 1-foot diameter pipe that's under the road. Every single bit of it, as soon as it leaves the main sewer line, the main sewer line that feeds the entire neighborhood, the moment it leaves that, I own the pipe. I own the pipe that is under the road, that is under the sidewalk. America. This is how it all works here. So anyway, I'm screwed. There's no way out of it, and insurance won't cover it. I already looked into it, and people confirmed that homeowners insurance would not have covered this because it is regular maintenance. It was not destroyed by somebody digging. It was not destroyed by somebody dropping a cherry bomb down the sewer, or some sort of other criminal act. No, there's no way out of it. So basically, I am hoping, just through the goodness of their hearts, that people are willing to help me spread this cost out so that I do not have to have a bunch of extra stress. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. The crisis is over. Like, I don't need any further help. People already sent me about $8,000, which is what I needed to get across the finish line to actually make this happen. I should be able to get the pummeled. It's just that it would be really fantastic if I did not have to then suffer under that for the next 6 years. Because my bathroom is full of black mold, and my shower isn't sealed, and my house is on a hill, and every single rainy season it begins flooding, and I have to set up a bunch of pumps and then monitor them for about 4 to 5 months, and I can't really leave the house safely during the best time of year for shooting at the office. So I would really like to fix those problems and actually move the ball forward rather than be under debt for the next 6 years and just, here I am paying to continue having a toilet, a thing that should be the baseline of existence, not spending that money on actually materially improving my life, just stations keeping, staying right where I am. I'm happy to take on the loan and pay it off for, $500 a month for the next 6 years when I can go into the bathroom and have a nice bathroom and a tub I actually fit in, and I'm not looking up at mold on the ceiling. I wouldn't be bothered by having the extra debt if it was for something material and not just getting me back to where I was 2 years ago. Right. And that's the other thing is that the city owns the street and the sidewalk, but they won't rip them up and replace them. And indeed, apparently they won't even tell us how much it's going to cost until we actually go and yeah, anyway. So it's bad. I don't think it's anybody else's like fault or problem, or that I deserve to have this paid off by other people, because this is just life in America. Every single American is sitting on 5 to 6 digits of debt eternally. This is just normal. So like, I don't, deserve this any less than anybody else. This just happens to you, and then that's your life indefinitely. But I'm still just going to let people know, so if they want to help me out and make this easier on me, they have that opportunity. I'm not going to pressure anyone. It's my problem. Anyway, so I wanted to do a stream from the office, from the studio, and I kind of wanted to do a dry run for it, because I felt that the last couple times that we did streams from the studio, there were some kinks that that were a little rough, like how I ended up having to pause the stream for quite a while. I don't want to do that when I have 800 or 1,200 people watching, which is probably what's going to happen if I go live on my main channel. So that's why today what I'm doing is I'm testing out. I got the Stream Deck here, so I could do almost everything from there. That's really that's a game changer. So I don't have to have the laptop here. And I don't have to use some weird WebSocket program. Also, I can control OBS from the wireless keyboard and mouse, so that's great. And the VGA capture should make it a little less, because I thought that having the overhead in the inset was not quite a replacement for a direct capture. So I thought, okay, that's good, and hopefully I can get. So I'm using OS2 at the moment for this stream. I won't be doing that for the main stream. It's just too much of a damn time sink. So I wanted to mess around with this a little bit more. By the way, just to get going, so the last time I was here, I had this exact computer, and I spent an hour trying to get the damn thing to boot into OS2. It would install fine, and then it would come up and it would just hang at the splash screen. So I took it home with me, and I spent another 3 or 4 hours doing everything under the sun. Nothing worked. It was crashing when it hit the CD-ROM driver, and nothing I did would fix it. I tried changing the CD-ROM driver. I tried starting in like safe mode. If I took the CD-ROM driver out, it worked. That fixed the problem. It would boot. But I need the CD-ROM driver, so that wasn't acceptable. So finally, at my wit's end, with no other options left to me, finally, I unplugged the CD-ROM, plugged in a different one, and it booted. And there was nothing wrong with that CD-ROM. So my conclusion is one of two things. Either OS2 is such a horrible piece of shit that it managed to send a TAPI command to the drive that crashed its firmware, or the drive was so crummy that, I'm certain that OS2 sent it a command that crashed it, right? The question is, did OS2 send it a bullshit, bogus, malformed TAPI command, or did OS2 send it a perfectly valid command that nothing else uses? Because of course, IBM, right, would have, we have to design by the book, so their engineer writing the CD-ROM driver reads through the entire TAPI specification and implements every single possible option. Basically, I think OS2 sent it some sort of poison command, but probably one that would not have been poison if any other operating system in existence ever sent it, or if it wasn't deprecated, Anyway, the point is, though, that I put a Plex writer in there, and now, as you can see, it boots, it runs. So, I think, there we go, OS2. I think we're going to be good to go. Now, what I have on here is OS2 Warp 3, which I think is what I installed on there last time. That's what should be on here, because the answering machine, the what the hell is it called? The voicemail system software that I wanted to install, that was the whole goal of this project, is actually supposed to run on 3. I think I determined that just before the last show or last stream, or maybe a little bit after I finished that one, I found out that 3 was the right version. So that's what I've got, and I'm going to see if I can install the graphics drivers, so we can because this is running at 640 by 480 VGA right now. That might be adequate. You know, maybe I shouldn't bother. Maybe I shouldn't even mess with the graphics drivers. Maybe I should just install the damn voicemail software and just roll with it. But let's see what happens. So that's right. That's what I was going to say. So I finished the last stream. I took the machine home. I messed with it for several hours. I got it working. And then obviously I wanted to come back and do the rest of the stuff on stream. So I didn't mess with any of the actual software or hardware that I was going to set up. But I did have it working, and I shut the machine down, and it's just been sitting there for a month. I bring it in today, I hook it up, I boot it up, it blue screens, does the OS2 equivalent of a blue screen, and it's crashing in, single Q dot whatever their driver name is. I look it up and it says, oh, that's the VGA driver crashing. I didn't install any VGA drivers and I didn't change any VGA drivers, so what the hell? Why? Why would that stop working? I don't understand. So, oh my God, it never ends. You know what? There's no CD-ROM here. It never ends. What? Why? Where's the CD-ROM? It was working. Go to hell. This is so. This is the worst operating system in history. This is the worst operating system anyone has ever imagined. You couldn't invent an operating system worse than this. It's a joke. It is a joke about bad software. It's just incredible. You can't lay a hand on the thing. Right, the source directory is not valid because it uninstalled the fucking CD-ROM driver. I don't even know what to say. I've got nothing. I just... It's an analog operating system. Okay, here's the thing, okay? I don't care how bad your experience is with Windows or anything else I've ever been, okay? I've used Mac OS, all right, on old, messed up machines. I have fired up the system, and on a Mac or an Amiga, for instance, I've fired up the machine and had it just for no reason hang loading a driver that worked the last time, okay? So what do? You hold Command and you boot the machine up and it bypasses that and you unload that driver and you go, huh, that's strange. And that's that, right? Windows 95, you load a network driver, it's the wrong network driver. It gives you an error on startup, says I couldn't load the VXD, and that's that. Maybe you uninstall it. Maybe you uninstall the driver if need be, but otherwise it's fine. It's an extra 5 seconds in the boot process. You install a driver that's really messed up, okay, go to safe mode, uninstall it, right? Windows 3, you have to delete it out of win.ini, right? There's always ways, but this thing, there's no real safe mode, and it's not that the driver stopped working, it's that the operating system deleted it. It deleted it. It deleted it. The last time the machine, it was there. The driver was there. And now it's gone. And I know why. I know that it's because anytime you touch the damn selective install program, which is what I had to do. Because earlier, when the machine wouldn't boot, it was saying the VGA driver was bad. So I hit Alt F1 and I pressed V, which loads it in VGA mode. Except it doesn't. Even that is giving it too much credit. In Windows 95, when you can't boot the OS due to a bad graphics driver, you hit F8 and you start in safe mode, and that loads a temporary VGA driver. OS 2 doesn't do that. Its version of safe mode is that it overwrites your graphics driver. It deletes it and reinstalls the VGA driver. It has no capacity to temporarily boot into VGA mode. There's no other operating system in history that has that problem. This isn't a thing. This is not a thing. Nothing does this, okay? So, when it did that, it had to run the hardware installer, the selective installer, and every time you run that, let me show that to you again, just so you know what I'm talking about, okay? So let me explain OS 2 to you. Let me explain OS 2, okay? So, when you install OS 2 for the first time, this is a screen that shows up during the first graphical stage of installation. So you pick your mouse, your keyboard, your language, you pick your serial, your printer, okay? And then you hit OK, and it installs all that stuff. And it tries to auto-detect all this stuff, okay? But then, after install, if you run this program again, it comes up with several of these fields empty. And you think, oh, it forgot what I had installed. So I better repick the right thing, or I won't have that device installed anymore. It clearly took it out. Look, it says none, okay? That's a trap. If you hit OK here, if I recall correctly, it does nothing. Because it, like, checks which of these things have actually been changed, and anything that hasn't been changed, it doesn't actually do anything with. Because this isn't select what you have, it's select what you want to add. Except that's not what it says. It says currently installed peripherals, but that's a lie. That's not true. It never was true. So earlier, I think I picked a CD-ROM there and installed the CD-ROM driver, and even though I picked it, it somehow interpreted that as, oops, we should actually delete that. So if you go anywhere near the hardware installer, you don't know what it's going to rip out. You're installing a CD-ROM, it might rip out your sound card. You're installing a video card, it might rip out your CD-ROM. There's just no telling. So I made the mistake of using their version of safe mode, which, as part of its basic functionality, deleted my CD-ROM. OS 2! Oh, wait a minute, what? No, it didn't. That's it. It's right there. Well, but then what? It's there. But I'm in hell. Okay, now additionally, as I've mentioned before, when you open a folder or a drive, when you open a drive in OS 2, it does not show you the contents of the drive. It shows you only the tree view. So this is like the sidebar view in a Windows Explorer window where it only shows you the folder, only shows you folders. There are files on this disk, but you could not be blamed for not realizing that. The only way to see those is to go to icon view, which you do here by double-clicking on the drive that you already thought you had open. And then that shows you everything. So, at least we have that, right? I did come here to install Snap, so let's see if we can do that. Let's try. Let's try. Fix pack 32. Okay. Fortunately, I have the fix packs. That's the equivalent of a service pack. So I'm on top of this one, theoretically. So I think is it this? Oh, get ready. What? That's not true. I've used this CD before. What? What are you talking about? That problem doesn't exist. What? The folder's not called fix, it's called CSF, you bastards. What? What's going on? Yeah, it's called fix pack, but honestly, I don't trust that. Okay, whoopsie. Let's try and copy this to the... Right. So, the incredible OS2 file picker. This thing is amazing. Honestly, the one that they switched to in Warp 4 is more amazing, but this one's just incredible for its astonishing waste of screen space. Because, like, okay, at the time that this control was originally invented, Microsoft had not yet introduced the modern tab control, okay? So they could be forgiven for that, but why? Why the depth? And even then, why the huge amount of wasted real estate? Like, I've talked about this before when looking at OS2. Every single window, every single OS dialog has these great big yawning expanses of useless gray space. Like, what is this? Why is this here? What is this accomplishing? I have no idea. Anyway, so, and then of course the tabs like move all over the place. Like, what? Why like that? Why do they lose their hierarchical relationship when they go to the back? Who would find this natural? Nobody. And that's the other thing, right? Is it's 640 by 480 and they're blowing like an extra 30 pixels here. Why? And also look at this. It's not, you see there's a hitch? There's a hitch. This line isn't straight. Like, anyway. Now, conversely, OS2 does have one of the coolest features in the history of operating system, but not because it's a brilliant idea, but only because for some reason Microsoft and Apple are both too dumb to think of it. It doesn't mean IBM is smart. It just means that everybody else is unbelievably dumb. And this is the sort of thing that Linux, if it was actually a democratic operating system for the people, by the people, would deliver, but it doesn't because that's not what it is. It's just a toy project for nerds. This is open. This lists all open folders. So if I go and open up the DOS programs view here, oh, do I have to refresh this? Oh, wait, that might not be... Is that a real folder? That might not be a real folder. Maybe that's why it doesn't show up there. Hang on a second. You're kidding. Do I have to reopen this for this to refresh? I'll bet I do. Hang on. Yes! So, OS2, one of the big design paradigms behind OS2 was object-oriented. It's object-oriented. The whole thing's object-oriented. I should point out Java wasn't out yet. It's this beautiful world of nouns. Everything's a noun. Everything's an object. Everything natively plugs into everything else. It's all interfaces and APIs. Yeah, well, Microsoft did none of that bullshit, but when their operating system introduced its interoperability feature, COM, it included the ability for one window to notify another when a relevant subscription has updated. Apparently, IBM felt that that was not a worthy use of their grand object-oriented design, despite it being possibly the most obvious feature. Anyway, you tell me this. If you have Photoshop open and you're working on a document and you're working on that document as part of a larger project, so you have a folder open on your PC called name of project and it's open in an Explorer window. You go into Photoshop, you click Save As. That folder is 12 layers deep on a network drive. How are you going to get there? You have two options. You can either know that you can click in the address bar to get a copyable address and know that you can paste that into the open field in Photoshop in order to go there. losing what you have in your clipboard in the process. Or you can click, 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 to navigate all the way down to that folder, even though it is 2 inches to the right of Photoshop. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there. It's 2 inches to the right. Why do you have to navigate to it? It's already open. Why are you doing more work? There is no possible way to explain how any GUI operating system has not solved this. And yes, so Mac OS, at some point, I don't know if they even have this anymore, used to have what Cyril just said, the ability to drag the folder icon from the window into the open box. Why? Shouldn't you drag the file into the window that's open if you're going to do that? And why do you need to get 2 windows open and interact between them? It's already open. It's already open. The operating system knows it's open. The application talks to the operating system. Why has it not been a universal feature in the, I need to remind you here, the operating system's own file selector dialog? When you hit open, you are seeing Windows give you the file selector dialog. And the same on Mac OS. Great, Apple has the ability to drag an icon onto the window. I don't want that. Just show me open windows in the damn dialog. You know what they are. You opened them. It's dumb. It's dumb. So IBM notices this and fixes it. This is every single window that's already open on the system. I have not found a single feature in OS 2 other than this that I really think is good or even a good idea. Anyway, but besides that, it also gives you all these other views. And I'm not necessarily irritated at that, except that they're just like, it's just very cluttered, right? So we can also go to related, which I guess starts in the current folder, I think, and then desktop, which, okay, so starting with Windows 95, Microsoft switched to a virtual file system, if you will, where the root of the system is not your hard drives, but rather the desktop, and the hard drives are considered containers inside the desktop. I think that was a pretty clever idea. In ways, it's sort of long in the tooth, but it is at least consistent. However, I don't know that it's really worth having a dedicated desktop tab here, right? And the thing is that there's no real, you can either start from the desktop or start from drives. So IBM hasn't really done that here. Drives are not a subset of desktop, right? Which I guess makes sense. Okay, I guess I'm not that irritated at this, but it is still a tremendous waste of space. Anyway, and then you can also type in a path, but you get no help doing it, right? You can't, for instance, start at desktop, go to DOS programs, and then like somehow copy the path and go over to path. So you just get to type the whole thing out yourself, and it's not going to show you what that path looks like before you copy. So yeah, just... Oh my God, is the screen capture frozen? Why? Why? Why would the screen capture be frozen? This is the bullshit I was talking... This is why I'm doing a test stream today. Because I knew this would happen. Why? Why is the capture frozen? What possible reason? It's the OSSC. Oh my God. What? Okay, great. New failure mode. Apparently, the OSSC can crash in such a way that it looks fine, it's green, but it's outputting a continuous image, the last captured frame that it got. So this is completely untenable, and I will not be able to use this for the stream. I can't have that. What just happened? No. No. See, that's the thing. If I put this up here, then I'm going to rely on it. And no capture chain is reliable. I've never found one. No one will do this correctly. I am not going to ruin my show over this. So, God, what a mess. It's working now.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway, so let's at least try to install this here. I don't think it's going to work. But we'll try. So we're going to try and copy the fix pack to the C drive so I can rename that folder. Oh, and there's no progress bar, I'll remind you. The There's no progress bar in OS2. You just get this. It's doing it. It looks like it's asking you for input, but it's actually just doing it. It's doing it, theoretically. I can see the here, if we take a look here. Oh man, that angle's not great. There you go. You can see the CD-ROM. It's doing it, right? But there's no indication at all on screen that this is happening. I have no idea where this screen came from. I picked it up out of the literal garbage. So, okay, so that's done. So close that, close that, close that, close that, close that, close that. At least this part's just normal computer TDM and not specifically OS2 TDM. Okay, I'm gonna try running this again from here just in case it got yeah. Okay, no directories found or fixed. So I think that it wants. Actually, hang on a second. It's trying to look for a folder called OS2 serve. What the hell? Okay, so let's try. First off, what's in? Oh wait, inf is a help file? Really? Huh. I'm trying to remember if I can like. I think what I can do, I think there's a tool that you can run and just point at the folder in question. But damned if I know where it is. Okay, let's try this. What is ftp install.txt? Oh yes, ftp install is called from rsu inst when you click on rsu file from your web browser. Terrific. I actually do know what that does now that I've read that, but that's not the point. Let's see what happens if we run service.exe. Okay? And of course, they can't just, corrective service facility. That's what they're called, their patching tool. Corrective service facility. My God. All right. Okay, so we picked that. Wait. There's no way out of this. Okay, yeah, I'm in hell. You can't close this. It's just here now. There is no way to exit. Hell on earth. Hell on earth. Okay, anything else? What about, oh, fix pack inst.cmd. Yeah, of course, that also does not do anything. Incredible. Incredible. I've installed this before. I know this works. What's going on? Yeah. Nothing. I need to unpack everything. Why do I need to unpack everything? I mean, I realize I wrote the guide about it, but I thought I unpacked it before I put it on the disk. Hang on. Let me go look up my own damn documentation. Hang on. It never ends. It never ends. Articles. OS2. OS2. Here it is. Okay. We're having an exciting time under OS2. Fix packs. Okay, here we go. Okay, I now have to type in 20 different extract commands. Pray for me. It never ends. It never ends. My God. Well, at least I did, in fact, need to copy it to the hard drive. How did they fuck this up? I don't get it. I just don't get it. How could it be this bad? OS2 is hell on earth. Okay, all right, I guess that works. And then what is the naming convention here? 3DK, and then it starts turning into letters. Amazing. Okay. Oh my god. It defaults to overwrite 3DK, 4DK, 5DK. This is a great way to do it. This is a brilliant way to do this. IBM absolutely made good decisions here. 8DK, 9DK, and then what is it? Does it become 0DK or does it go to ADK? ADK. So there's a hard limit on how many parts one of these installs should use. Oh my god, why is it default to... Well, actually, I guess that does mean I can just arrow over it instead of using backspace. So I guess that's... Oh my... theoretically good. Okay, I think maybe we did them all. All right. And then theoretically we just... Well, let me check my guide. What the hell? Huh. No directories found. Oh, wait, it says it goes all the way up to KDK. Oh, so it does. Wait a minute. What did I do wrong? Wait. Oh, wait, no, I did that. I did K, right? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Because that's as far back as it goes. Oh my god. It never ends. Okay, well, so then the instructions I have written here don't make any sense. So I'm loving that. Oh, okay. Nope, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? There is a CSF folder, so I have to put in the full... My instructions here backwards? Listen. Yes, I forgot how the damn alphabet works because I've been at this for so long. See, I don't want recent files or folders. I just want, like, one, that never works the way I want it to. And two, oh my god, it wants me to make that folder? Why? Do I also have to... Do I have to move it in there? Oh, I had to... Oh my god, I was supposed to move everything into the ext folder. It's not that I... Like I said, I wrote these damn instructions myself. However, this process sucks. This is just stupid. What a stupid waste of time. Why is this not a one-step... Why don't you just click? It's not that I can't read, it's that the instructions are telling me to do things that no one should need to do. So I obviously did not think to interpret them that way. Oh. Yeah. On any other operating system, you would click one exe, it would self-extract itself, and then you're done. What on earth could possibly explain this? Okay, so now how does it work? Okay. Okay, finally. Theoretically. Okay, it's doing something. OS2 is the worst operating system in history. I don't even need to prove this, but it would be very easy to prove. Good Lord Almighty. I don't know how long this is going to take, so I'm going to get another computer. I'll be right back. Okay, so yeah, it turns out that you can select this window and it will show you what it's doing. So at least there's that. It's barely an improvement, but it is an improvement. Where's the Phillips head? Oh, here it is. Oh. Okay. Now, I'm betting this is not actually 100%. I'll bet there's going to be a new progress. Oh, well, there it is. There it is. All right. Well, anyway, so boop. I should install another camera. We need yet another angle. So while that's doing that, I hope that wasn't as loud as it sounded. Okay, so this machine. This is a funky little number. Let me spin it around first, actually. It'd be nice if the camera would focus. Personally, I just think that would be good. There we go. So this is an NEC Ready 9619. And NEC is kind of a strange brand, certainly over here. Kind of an unusual bird, if you will, in the US. I think probably there were a lot more NEC PCs in Japan, I would guess, but I don't really know. For one thing, you'll notice it's sort of built upside down, right? It's got the drive bays down here, and the I think that might be an IR window, but I can't be sure. I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. That could be solid black plastic. I'm not sure. Anyway, NEC made their own optical drive, so it's got an NEC optical drive, multi-spin 6, which is pretty fast for this era. It is a Pentium machine, and then it gets kind of weirder. So if we spin this guy around, so obviously it's built upside down, but in addition, it's also just sort of strange. So there's a motherboard down there that's bigger than most motherboards all on its own, and then it also has this daughter board. So I'm not really sure why it's so big. It seems kind of bigger than it honestly needs to be. And also the design of this case is pretty hateful. I really don't like this case at all, because you might be wondering, there's motherboard back there. How do you get to that? And I haven't figured it out. I have not found any solution. Because everything's riveted. This part is riveted onto here. I'm pretty sure it's riveted onto here. This is, well, that's tabbed in back there at least. But then that's riveted. So, OS2 is done updating. Basically everything's riveted, and I really don't. The motherboard plate is riveted in, so I really can't see how they even put it together, to be honest. This has been bugging me. Like, I can't figure out how this was assembled, and I need to disassemble it, because I'm going to see if I can show you here. This machine has one of the hateful little Dallas clocks. This is actually, well, it's a benchmark, but I think it's a Dallas design. I could be wrong. Let's get in there. Come on. Focus. My focus is all crocused. Hang on. I have focus controls in OBS. I know it'll focus this close. So, bud. Well, everyone, welcome to my stream. Okay. Oh, I guess I'm actually past the focal point there. There we go. Hello. I got set up some hotkeys for that. But yeah, so these guys here, these are kind of a bummer. So basically, it's a little Lego block, lots of pins on it, and this is a real-time clock with a battery embedded into it. So it's actually epoxied into this Lego brick. And when the battery dies, there's no solution for it. You simply have to throw it away and replace it. Hello, computer. There we go. Now, one of the things that's really irritating about these is if, for instance, you have a BIOS password, it's stored in the real-time clock, because that's where computer CMOS is. It's always stored in the real-time clock, because that's where the SRAM lives. So if you pull this chip, it doesn't lose its contents because the battery's built into it. So you can't, with a normal PC, you can wipe the BIOS password by just pulling the battery, but you can't pull the battery here. You have to pull the whole thing all together. And if you pull this, the machine won't post, because this is it's an integral part of the system. So you're screwed. If you have one of these and it dies, you have to replace it with a like device. Well, these have not been made for a long time, but let me just step over here. Hopefully I remember to bring this thing to the office. Oh, whoops. Hang on. Just a moment. Oh, right, that's that. Okay. There's at least one person, I think it's just one person, building replacement clock modules. You can buy them on eBay for, I think they're like $20, $30, something like that. And there it is. So this is a new make board, Necroware, that's the name. I don't know what chip it's using. I don't think it's a new chip. I think it's one that basically was a SMD replacement for the Dallas chip. I could be wrong about that, though. I think that's here on the bottom. Yeah, there we go. So there's a replacement chip on there, and there's your quartz crystal for your oscillator source. But you can actually put a cell right in there. It comes with a socket, just in case you're replacing one that was not socketed. One moment, please. Okay. Dallas. Soled. It also, quite illegally, shipped with a lithium cell, which is good because it's a real funky one. I didn't want to have to source myself. So, ooh, that is tiny. This is a CR1220, a cell I've never seen before. Little tiny baby thing. That's smaller than a dime. About as thick, too. And that's going to go in there and click. Okay. So that's our replacement module. And it's actually a little bit smaller than the original. A little bit thinner. Just barely. No, actually, you know what? Technically, it's thicker after you take into the account the legs. But anyway, Vince, as far as I know, no. I have tried shorting out all the pins on these chips, and it does not seem to work. So, anyway, so this guy will replace that chip, and I can make this NEC work again properly. Problem is, it's down there, and I had to use a screwdriver and sort of wedge it out, but now I'm not sure how I'm going to get down there to reinstall it without damaging it. So we're going to mess around with that in this stream. Anyway, by the way, this modem came with this system. I have no idea what's going on here. This guy is funky. He's got 3 different four Rockwell chips. He's got relays and all sorts of things. Now, from the design, this looks like it could be an SVD. Oh, hey, you know what? Actually, I just realized. Whoa. Whoops. Whoopsie. That's me. That's my mouth. Why? Why is the PTZ acting so weird? What the hell, dude? Get it together. All right, there we go. Focus. There are further issues. Focus. Wow, what is going on here? Come on. You did it before. There we go. Ah, shit. See, this is what I don't want to happen during the the show on my main channel. Anyway, yeah, so that clearly says DSVD at 40.32 megahertz. So I would guess that's probably what this is. You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if I put this in here. Maybe I was trying to get a machine that would run the one DSVD modem I had. No, that was a voice view modem I'm thinking of. This can't be that. So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is with it. There's no model number. There's no nothing. So, there we go. Yeah, I don't know what this card is. I don't know anything about it. And it's ISA, so it's going to be kind of hard to get any like PNP information on it or anything. So yeah, that's a strange beast. Anyway, all right. So what I can do, obviously, I can take this this daughter board out. So we should try that, and then, but first, let's pop back over to this guy. So this says it's done. So let's go ahead and shut down and reboot, which under OS2 can be done. Let me show you the only way. Let me show you the only way I'm aware of to shut down OS2. There we go. Control-Alt-Delete. As far as I know, that is the only way to do it. There is no shutdown option. There's no reboot option. There's no exit option because it's not DOS-based and it does not respect its own command line OS. So, yeah, all you can do is just give it an NMI and that's that. So, good times. Very normal operating system. Very regular. Even if the PTZ camera is a little hanky, it still beats the hell out of trying to get, you know, a single fixed angle, you know, hanging on a Manfrotto magic arm or something to point where you want it to. So, you know, it might not be amazing, but it's certainly better than it could be. All right. Well, while that's loading, let's go back to this guy for a moment. Not that guy. This guy. So I've not really tried taking this apart before any further than just the case. So I think that pulling this out is probably not going to get me any closer to removing the motherboard. But wow, it is in there. There we go. EISA style, but not actually EISA. Naturally AT power. Now, what I'm wondering... Oh, that's how it works. Okay, it just has plugs on the lower side. It just has like a plastic studs. So it's not really... Camera, where are you going? Wow, that is janky. Anyway, there's just plastic studs on the bottom. So if you take these screws out on the top, the motherboard should slip upwards. Okay. By the way, I don't know if you can see it, but this machine is full of some sort of nasty black gunk. No idea what that is. It's not like cigarette tar or anything. That's a whole different ball game. So it must have been like used somewhere. Kind of curious what that's all about. You know, also, I've just noticed something on here that's worth looking into. Let me finish taking this out, and then I'll show you what I'm looking at. Whoa, okay. Looks like that's working. Okay, so if we zoom in here, look at him right there. That's an Alliance Semiconductor ProMotion 6422. ProMotion 6422. I'm wondering if that's like an MPEG codec card. It would not surprise me at all, because this machine was sold with a high-speed CD-ROM. So I'd be pretty unsurprised if that was a decoder chip. All right, so now if we take this guy out, the motherboard obviously is going to just fall into the machine, but hopefully I can catch it. MPEG 1? Okay, cool. So I should definitely work on getting the driver for that. Okay, let's try not to lose this screw here. Oh. Dropped it, but we have a little bit of magnetism. Just a tiny bit. Ooh, just enough. Okay. Now what I'm hoping is I can lever this out of here without having to unplug anything. But I might not be so lucky. Let's see. Yeah, all these cables up here are dragging. They really don't want to come out. But I think if I move this guy... Come on. There we go. I think that's where the friction is coming from. So just get this out from under this damn cable here. Well, these cables here are really making it tough, but we did get in far enough. Now I just have to figure out which end is pin 1. There we go. Okay. What a great computer. What a wonderful, terrific computer. Where the hell is pin 1? Oh, okay. Well, I see the order of I see which way the text is facing. I'm thinking that the original chip was probably upside down like that. It's not keyed, unfortunately, so I'm thinking it was in there like that, and the other one will want to go in the same way. So I don't see. Oh, okay. So there we go. There's the notch. Okay, I didn't see a notch on it before. Now I see it. Okay, I got it then. And it's in. There it is. Oh, man. This is kind of a hateful little computer, but at least I think it might be kind of interesting if I can get it working. I think what I remember is that when I first had this thing, I convinced myself that it wasn't capable of posting fully, or sorry, it would post, but it wouldn't boot fully on account of you couldn't save the hard drive settings. So you could tell it to like auto detect a drive, but then it wouldn't even persist through the reboot out of the CMOS config. So you couldn't get it to actually save the drive long enough to boot. So that's why I needed to replace the clock chip. That, and I know it was like was definitely interrupting the boot process every single time to whine about the clock not being valid or the CMOS not being valid. So I don't know if this machine was worth spending like $15 on to repair, like to the point where if this thing ends up being boring, I might pull that Dallas replacement and just keep it and then throw the rest of the machine away. And yeah, I really hate the way that I really don't like the fact that they only put screws on one side. That is incredibly janky. Naturally, of course, it's also pre-ATX, post, baby AT, but pre-ATX, so just sort of custom cutout, Has a game port, at least. At least there's that. Does that really make me feel any better? Anyway, there's also... That's probably meant to go into the modem. Oh, that might have been part of what convinced me that the modem came with the machine and wasn't third party somehow, because, wow, that sounded great. I think I did find, yes, that plug goes right there and is obviously customized for it. So I'm pretty convinced that this modem came with the machine. I just wish I knew something about it. Anyway, let's... those screws in there. Really unpleasant case design. The fact that I was worried that I was going to have to pull the damn motherboard out completely. And yeah, sure enough.
Also, I need to reinstall this, but where did this plug in?
Oh, I see. Okay, there's a little fan header
right there. Which one is pin 1? Well,
hope I got it right. Plug it in, fan spins backwards, makes the machine warmer. Okay. Ooh, sorry if that was loud. Also, yeah, to give you an idea how filthy this machine is, look at all this. Just nasty black dust. Anyway, now the question is, where's the hard drive I had in this machine? I think I took it home to rip, and I haven't ripped it. So if I get this running, I may have to put another hard drive in it. Anyway. Okay. So this machine is restarted, and does it actually have another... Yeah? Oh, interesting. The machine appears to be frozen. Cool. Regular. Well... System is rebooting. So, my recollection is, I think I'm remembering this right, that OS2 is so poorly designed that it has a sort of cooperative window messaging system. So, in Windows... And as far as I know, every OS, you have a thing called the, turn up the volume on the monitor view. There's no separate volume. They're the same. Like, if I'm talking here, and if I'm talking here, it should be the exact same volume. I'd be really surprised if it isn't. Let me just go check. It's just because I'm looking away from the mic. There's nothing I can really do about it. If I'm, yeah. Yep, it's the same object. So if I'm talking over here, then the mic's just picking me up less.
It isn't. I think what happens is on the second view you have the other mic.
No, it's literally the same. Take a look at the audio mixer. It's front cam. That is the same input. It's just that I'm turning over here, so I'm not looking at the mic. Okay. Now, what I could do is I could take the two mics and mono them together, which might fix it. So, that's why I have two mics in theory. Let's see what that sounds like. It's probably going to sound like shit, I'd think. All right. So... that doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute. It's literally the same input. It can't possibly change. It doesn't make any sense. It's literally the same input. it can't get quieter. It can't be done. Wait a minute. Oh, is it because... No. No, that can't be true. There's a second copy of the front camera scene, but that doesn't make any sense. Oh my god. OBS. OBS's audio system is the worst. It is horrible. It is so bad. They need to throw the whole thing out and replace it. Audio should never be tied to scenes. Nobody wants that. I just talked about this in my yeah, great. We lost the VGA feed, of course. This is why I'm doing a shakedown, because I knew that it would fall apart. I have to manually reset the damn OSSC every single time. There we go. So, does this... Cool. Cool. No, it's broken. Amazing. Why? OS2, 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 OS2. Okay, well. I don't think I have it in me to make anything OS2 happen for real. It is so broken. It is so bad. It didn't crash. I turned the computer off. I don't think I can fix this. I really don't. Like, it's just so janky. It's so broken. Like, it just will not stay functioning for long enough to do anything. You sneeze on it. You know, every single time that you do anything in OS2, you get a different set of results. I just don't know what to do with it. Like, it's getting to the point now where I'm not even sure that I want to do it on streams anymore, because it's getting more and more genuinely frustrating. At first, it was like, oh, lol, yeah, OS2 is just like this. And now it's getting more and more like, wait a minute. It won't even stay still long enough for me to get anything done. You know, I just don't know if it's even fun anymore. Okay. All right, so at least the OSSC is picking up the signal from this machine. Okay, system CMOS checksum bad. All right, let's enter setup. Oh, it's hung looking for the hard drive. That's what's up. Okay, let's throw it a bone, because otherwise it's going to take a really long time to boot every time I turn it on. Let's give this machine a hard drive. Oh, interesting. I guess I unplugged the optical drive too. Okay, plug that in. So the hard drive bay in this is also not very pleasant. I don't... you can't even really get at it from the front. And... yeah, so it's hard to see, but the hard drive bay is down there. And what you're supposed to do is to drop a hard drive in from the back here. So we're going to take this guy. We slip this in the back, just sort of angle it, deal with the hypotenuse there. Get that in there, and then sort of use your fingertips to negotiate it down into the cavity. Okay, there it is. Now, we can take a screw, and again, we have to sort of tease this forward and back with our fingertips. Okay, and now the hard drive, the screw holes are sitting below the level of the metal, which means that the only way yep. There we go. And because you can't really get a hand in there, there's no real way to hold the hard drive long enough to get the... Oh, it moved. Oh, there we go. Okay, we got very, very lucky. And again, it's possible there's some sort of trick to this, but I don't see what, because this is all riveted. Everything's riveted, and there's no other way to get at it. You know, hang on, maybe there's a cavity on the front. Let me just... Theoretically, this front panel pops off. Oop, too far. Come on. Hello, computer. There we go. Theoretically, this pops off. So let's just see. No, it's just solid metal down there. So there's absolutely no accessing the hard drive from the outside of the machine. What I just showed you is the only way to do it. You just have to... it's like when you're working on a car that has an oil filter where you're like, wow, they're literally, like, there's no place where a wrench could go. They put this oil filter on the engine, and then they dropped the engine into the car and bolted it in. And the only way to really get the oil filter out is to take the engine out. So you're up in there like this with no mechanical advantage. Your wrist is on fire, and you're just doing this. Just barely squeaking the thing. 1/32 of a turn, and you're just there for hours. You're just there for hours. This is that computer. Anyway, so now this is in, we now have to plug the cable in, but there's no way to do that. So, because again, you just have to... which way does the power go? Okay, so naturally, of course, the cable's not coming out the right side of the connector. And there's also there's no notch on the connector. There's just a blocked pin, which means that if you don't get it right, you can bend that pin over. So we kind of have to plug in the power first. And of course, the power cable is incredibly short, so it's just very taut. You can put it in one place and no others. So if you didn't want to mount the hard drive here, if you wanted to like Velcro it somewhere else, you can't do that. And then we have to force this, bend that, get that around. And now the problem is that we have to press this connector down against the surface and like flatten it in place to get it to go into the hard drive. But there's a gap at the bottom of the drive, so that won't work. So we have to sort of... It's so hard to even see. It's hard for you. It's hard for me too. So we have to sort of see. It has to go in like that. If it were the other way around, then the cable would help align it correctly. But instead, see, it's pointing downwards. So we have to sort of hang it off the top set of pins, again, by the very tips of my fingers, just like this. No mechanical advantage. No ability to press on the... You just sort of do this. You just sort of jab it in there, jab it. Nope, didn't work. Nope. Okay, we take it out. We try to put a bend in it, try to crimp it like that. Hope we don't damage it. Okay, let's try again. We don't even know if this is the right orientation, by the way. Does that work? Nope. Slips out of place. Oh, did we? Nope, that's wrong. How about that? Nope, that's not working. Nope. And the cable's so short and so stiff that you can't just plug it in with it out of the machine. That doesn't work. So you're just condemned to this. This is what you do. You just sit. You can't get another finger in. That's solid. There's metal there for some reason. So you can't get another finger in to help align it, right? And you're just this is it. You just spend a half an hour doing this, and then if you ever have to work on that computer, you just throw it away. Oh, there we go. Got it. There we go. Awful computer. Awful. Just awful. I guess in retrospect, the one way to make this more tolerable would have been to take out the power supply. But of course, since all the cables are just 2 or 3 inches long, you would have to unplug them all, which means you have to get under here and unplug it there and everything else in order to take that power supply out. Because otherwise, you unplug it, it's going to move. You try to turn it to get it over the... It just... You can't plug it in before you screw it in place because the cable is so short and it's so stiff that it will fight you as you try to negotiate it into the cavity where it goes. So you can't just pre-connect it. There we go. That posted a lot quicker. Okay, and then it turns out to be a Phoenix BIOS, by the way. Okay, that's apparently a CD-ROM. Don't know what that's doing. Oh, I guess I hooked the cables up backwards, but that's no big deal. I should mention, by the way, that I don't have the faintest idea what is going on with the volume situation. OBS says that there's nothing wrong. There is no way to diagnose this other than to have headphones on that are connected to YouTube, streaming the actual feed, because OBS will not give you a feed of your post-mix audio. No idea why. So bizarre. Also, this is now... Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a 2 gig drive. All right, and now, big memory mode. Big memory mode. Big memory mode. All right, so now we should be good to go. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to come back to the front here and turn that off, because this is, if you were here for the previous stream where I had that computer, it used to belong to the lawyer. This is that hard drive. I just figured it'll probably boot on here. But it still has PII on it, so I want to take care of that. Just want to see if this looks like it's working so far. There's of course we're not synced on the OSSC, of course. RAM 2, the sequel to RAM. I'm sorry if I've seemed frustrated today. It's been kind of a rare week, and I was not really ready for OS2 to waste so much of my time. And, it's sort of frustrated because I figured, y'all probably not having a very good time watching me dick around with it. So I would like to show you something. I would have liked this OS2 session to be different than the last 5 OS2 sessions, which are all the same thing over and over. Me just trying to get the basic. I mean, I want you to tell me this. Have any of you, there's 81 people watching, okay? Have any of you ever had that much trouble installing an OS and getting it to see your CD-ROM and your video card? No. Of course not. There's no operating system in existence where it would be that frustrating. It's not possible. Not even on Linux for me. Yes, I've definitely I have recompiled my kernel in order to make a graphics card work. That is less frustrating than this. Because once you're done, you're done. The damn thing will run for 25 years, And the instructions for how to recompile the kernel, if you follow them, they're tedious, but they usually worked. In my experience, I didn't like it, but it was passable, it was tolerable. OS2, on the other hand, it shoots holes in itself. I don't even know how to explain what just happened. What we just saw before this, I don't know, this machine's not booting all the way, by the way. That's kind of sucks. Let me reboot it. Oh, I know why. I just realized this version of Windows 3 has a graphics driver installed. So it's trying to load that, and because it's Windows 3, which is incredibly old, it is it's not the right graphics driver, so it's just going to a black screen. It's right into the wrong part of video memory. So okay, give me a sec. Let me oh, that's weird. Huh, this is strange. Now the keyboard's not working. What the hell's going on here? Wow, maybe this machine's dying. Yeah, I had the PC video turned off because there's personal identifying information on this hard drive, so I didn't want to expose that if I could avoid it. So I don't even know why we were looking at the boot menu. That was kind of weird. Okay, there we go, and then there we go. That's what I was trying to do. So now if we go to Windows and we go, what is it? Is it just setup? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, that's the issue. Is it's an SIS graphics driver. Now, if we're very, very lucky, I might be able to replace that with a VGA driver and get that to start. I don't know what graphics chip is in this. You know, I guess I should check. Maybe I can find out what graphics chip is in this thing. There might actually be a driver for it. Let's see, what do we have? I'm looking. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can Google it. Where's my phone? There's my phone. Okay, this is a Ready 9619. NEC Ready 9619. And I'll see if I can just get a name of the graphics chip. Because if it turns out that it's like a Cirrus Logic, maybe we can get that working. I don't think so, though. I think it's something weird. So far, yeah, it's not looking good. The other thing, though, is I strongly suspect that if we attempt to install even like a VGA driver, it's going to want... If we do that, it's probably going to want a... we'll just tell it to keep the existing driver. Yeah. See, there's the problem. It's going to want the install files, and I'll bet that it can't just read from the Windows folder. Yep, and I don't have those files, so I'm just going to have to exit. And if I try to start it... Oh, well, right, yeah, that's not going to work either. Okay, well, anyway. I think that's probably what I can manage for today. It's like I said, it's been a little frustrating. Parts of this worked really well. I'm very pleased. You know, honestly, as irritating as it was, the VGA capture mostly worked, and I know how to deal with it when it doesn't. The Stream Deck setup beats the hell out of the laptop that I used to have up here. Another thing I didn't even tell. My mic should have been muted right there, and I didn't have a way to do that in the previous streams. So having the Stream Deck here is obviously good. It's literally for this purpose. That was on purpose. The overhead camera is a bit iffy. I'm not sure. Okay, let me make some notes. Here are the things we need to deal with. Oh my God. Give me just a second. I just got a message on my phone. It's not a bad thing, but really threw me for a loop, so I need to take a screenshot of it. I will not be sharing it. Sorry. Daria, I am sending you a message. Man. Okay. Okay, notes. Lessons learned. Okay, volume issue on overhead shot. Maybe due to the duplicated front shot scene. Okay, that's an issue. Also, the overhead lighting needs to be improved. Because I think what I really... So I have a... you can't see it, it's out of shot, but there's a pipe suspended over me. And what I need is a light that hangs on there and shines straight down for this sort of application. It would normally be pretty bad for most of my shoots, but it would be great for this. Yeah, there was some flicker on the monitor due to the fluorescent backlight. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, but next time I might swap it out for a Dell monitor. Maybe those aren't as bad. Or maybe I just need to turn the brightness up. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I need better overhead lighting. And I need to figure out that whole audio situation. Oh, I did mean to ask, by the way. I did, in fact, put the mics into dual mode. So, pardon me, this might be loud. There we go. I did, in fact, put the mics in like dual... basically, both mics are being picked up and then merged into one mono signal. But I just realized that the other one wasn't really pointed at me, so I'm not sure what that sounded like. Or if you really noticed it at all. But now they're both... There we go. Now they're both pointing at me. It's not stereo, because like if I tap this one, then tap that one, that should both be in both ears. But basically, the whole idea is one's pointing this way and one's pointing that way. So if I'm over here, then you should be getting some audio. And if I'm all the way over here, then you should be getting some audio. And if I'm here, then you should be getting probably louder audio, but it should still be tolerable in both places. Rather than just having, because these are fairly directional mics. I'm using like these little micro shotgun mics. So X-Ying it's probably the right call. So unless that sounded terrible right there, then that's probably what I'm going to go with for the stream. Anyway, and I don't love the angles I'm able to get on the machine that I'm working on, but I think that's just unavoidable. The only other real solution would be to have somebody with a fly cam walking around, you know? So I think that this is probably the best I can do, and it's not like I'm trying to, you know, for this upcoming show I want to do, it's not like I'm trying to deliver a incredibly polished, you know, television-ready production. I just want it to be not super sketchy. So anyway, I'm going to be wrapping up here in a moment, but just because I know a bunch of people joined after the beginning of this stream. So before I wrap up, I just wanted to let you know why I bothered doing this today. Well, that, and I do like doing streams from the studio. It's fun and whatnot. But the reason I've been stressed out today is because this is actually me ramping up to do a much larger stream on my main channel. Not like the talk show that I did. I've wanted to do another talk show. It's incredibly complicated to arrange, and I just haven't had the energy for it. And so this is going to be a fundraiser stream because my sewer line failed, and I have to get it replaced, and I had to take out a huge loan to do it. So I'm going to be in about $25,000 of debt. I already ran a GoFundMe that dredged up enough to cover the rest of the foreseeable bill, but I'm going to be under a lot more financial pressure for the next 6 years if I can't get this wrapped up. So I know being an American is just being in debt. That's what it's like. You know, some part of your house fails and now you just have an extra car worth of debt. And so every month you're just making these $500 to $1,200 payments for basically, it might as well be forever, because 5-6 years, that's a whole, you know, epoch of your life. You know, if I have to pay off every dime of this loan, I'm going to be paying it for twice as long as I've been a YouTuber. It's the way I've been thinking about it, because I've been doing this for about 3 years. So I'm going to do it for another 3 years, and I'll only be halfway through paying off the debt. I'd really rather not do that. It's a bunch of people commented on my last few videos, wow, man, I'm glad you quit the job because you're seeming a lot less stressed. Well, basically, if people don't want me to get back to where I was, then they can throw some money at me to make that less likely, because I don't know what else to do. The monthly payments are really going to be a bummer for me. And the thing is, I'm not guilt tripping anybody. I don't deserve to not be in debt. This, like I said, this is what it's like living in this country. I think even if you're not a homeowner, you still end up in ridiculous debt sooner or later, whether it's medical or, you know, a car that you bought and totaled and then still owe money on because the insurance didn't pay out, blah, 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 blah. This is just life here. This is what it's like. So nobody owes me anything, but if anyone wants to make it easier on me, I'd like to give them the opportunity. That, and, you know, we've been talking about doing sort of a Patreon pledge drive, because obviously there's, you know, a lot of people watching my channel who probably have not subscribed and haven't really thought about it, but might if I brought more attention to the you know, hey, you know, I'm living off this, right? So anyway, probably this Sunday, most likely, I'm going to do another stream on my main channel. I might end up doing another one here tomorrow once I work out some of these kinks. But I think probably on Sunday I'm going to do another stream on my main channel. So it's going to be a mess. I'm going to have like probably 1,500 people in chat. It's going to be a nightmare. Hopefully people are nice. I really hope so. And I'm going to have to come up with some kind of title card for it. And yeah, I'm going to have to get some kind of donation tracker set up so that people can see where I am relative to where I want to be. But what I'm not going to do is... I'm not going to I'm not going to be doing like I'm not going to be able to do the same kind of chat interaction. It's just not practical at that scale. Each time I've done that, I've ended up spending the entire stream just talking to chat, and it's not really what I wanted to do. I don't think it was very good television. I know people like interaction, but it's, mostly just stressful for me, spending the whole time talking to, fielding questions. So I'm probably going to get a couple of people to moderate and then just tell everyone, like, I'm not paying attention to chat, sorry. I might accept faxes. I haven't decided yet. I'm definitely going to change the way I do it completely. But the last time I did that, I got literally 1,000 faxes. I was still receiving them like 2 days later. It just didn't really work. And besides that, I want to like schedule stuff to do, and if I'm responding to people in chat, then that just doesn't really work because I just end up going, oh, let's install NT4 on this machine. 2 hours later, I've made it to putting the disk in, Nah, I would really prefer to actually do something rather than just spend the whole time just talking to people, I don't know if that's what people want, but it's what I want, so I'm going to see if I can make that work. But I am planning on, if you saw the previous stream where I had the real-time, the Pinnacle real-time video editor, I'm going to bring that back. I'm going to do a little bit of stuff with that, I think. And I'm also going to bring in this HP Net server that I just got recently that's like a 1997 era gigantic server with like a 6-bay SCSI drive in there. And I think I'm going to see if I can install Linux on that and do something with that. And then I'm going to do a bunch of stuff. I'm going to bring in a bunch of stuff that I haven't shown on my channel before and see if I can make a neat show out of it. It'll be sort of like this. I want it to be sort of like this, sort of rough and just kind of doing stuff. Yeah, valid, Mitch. I mean, that's the idea. I basically what I would like to do, the way I'd like it to work out, is that I basically am sitting up here doing stuff, and then periodically, like on a timer, I stop and I do a spiel, maybe answer a couple questions, and then go back to what I'm doing for another good 15 to 20 minutes. And it'll probably be like a 5-hour stream, something like that, because that's probably all I can really manage. And yeah, if I'm very, very lucky, then it ends up being like the last fundraiser I did, where I just hit my limit in the first hour and then have a panic attack. I hope that's how it plays out. I don't know if it will, but that'd be nice for me, certainly. Oh, one other thing. Let me desk mode. I grabbed these on my desk earlier. I forgot that I had them. These arrived from China the other day, and this is something I'm thinking I might do if I can make it work. So these guys here are replacement speakers for the Harman Kardons that are in the original iMac. As far as I know, these are new manufactured. You can buy them in enormous quantity on eBay. They all ship from China. I have no idea. I assume they're counterfeits. They probably work just fine. But basically, I'm hoping to actually replace the speakers in my iMac on stream. So this is something to look forward to, right? That's the sort of weird stuff I'd like to do. These have some weight to them. I'm impressed. Oh, not they don't stick. Oh, they've got the little shields over them. That's why. But anyway, yeah, I just kind of wanted to let you know why I'm seeming so stressed today, because this is part of a much larger project that I would really prefer not to be doing at this time of year, etc. I wish, if I'm going to do a show, I wish it would be during a cooler season. And yeah, oh, and the other that's the other thing. It just doesn't stop. Time waits for no one. The sewer blows up like a week and change ago, right? And then a couple nights ago, I was in here at the studio. I came in here to the studio. I was doing some like redesign of this. I redesigned my set, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, but the big bookshelf is gone. That's not coming back. I got a medium bookshelf, but that's probably actually going to go as well. I'm just going to have here. There we go. The new design for my videos going forward is just going to be these guys. I'm actually going to shuffle these over a little bit, so it's just a big clear field above me. So I came in here and I rearranged a whole bunch of stuff and cleaned up a ton and moved this and threw away a whole bunch of stuff. So I had this very busy day. I go home, and like an hour after I get home, a pipe under the sink in the kitchen bursts. And it's an iron pipe, and our water cutoff in the basement doesn't work. And I have to go out to the street. I have to go out to the street with a pair of pliers and shut the water off at the meter. And then I spent like 2 hours trying to repair the pipe so that I could put the fitting back onto it that had come off. And then realized that the tapered portion of the cast iron pipe threads had rusted away. So I had to go buy a pipe wrench and take the pipe out and replace that. And, you know, and now like the whole rest of the system could fail at any point as well, right? This, by the way, is the second time, because the first time we had the water main burst under the ground in our yard. So at this point, we've had plumbers come out and dig up the yard in order to replace the water main. We've had them come out in order to replace a section of the sewer that had collapsed, but not the whole line, because that was an extra $20,000. Now we've had the pipe fail inside the house. We have other valves that are failing. The valve in the shower is starting to go, right? So this is what I'm talking about, why, you know, if I'm going to have $20,000 of debt, I would much rather spend it on fixing things that actually move the ball forward rather than just getting me back to where I was 2 years ago, you know, because, you know, I can remodel the bathroom and get rid of the like black mold in there, and I can put in the new, plumbing myself and whatnot, but I can't do it if I'm also dealing with this, you know, and then we have to deal with the yard and the nightmare problems out there. So it's just, yeah, homeownership and trying to run the YouTube channel at the same time is a tremendous nightmare. I wouldn't trade it. You know, there are a lot of things about this that are benefits for me for sure. I would much rather be dealing with these problems than most others that I could have right now. But the point is that this is just sort of a bridge too far for me, and I'm hoping people can help out, because otherwise, I don't know. I'm going to have a very stressful 6 years. So anyway, hopefully next time you see me on here, I'll be a little more cheerful, and I will have worked out some of these kinks. But thank you all for coming. You actually made me feel a lot better than I did before I started. And I did have a good time, even if I was yelling a lot. And I will see you all possibly tomorrow, possibly Saturday, and definitely on Sunday. Keep your stick on the ice.